Hello, everybody. Welcome to the AOTF Podcast. This is our number 16. We probably won't talk about E3 this time. My name is Kyle, and with me are Will and Anthony. How's it going, guys?
Hey, sweet 16.
It's going good. Putting E3 in the rear view.
Yeah.
I've dumped a bunch of dirt on top of it. I'm stomping on it. Saying,
Bury it deep.
You
deep.
are dead to me, E3.
And it's already been an interesting post E3. We've had a lot, so we'll have a lot to talk about in the
you get right back to basics of broken video games. It goes from everybody being excited about the future to here's the future, it fucking sucks.
It's all busted. So we'll start off with my personal favorite topic that we ever talk about, and that is Destiny.
Amiibos? Oh, sorry.
So, no, I wish we could have an entire podcast dedicated to Amiibos, but we can't. So we have an entire podcast dedicated to Destiny, apparently. Guys, is Destiny dead?
It's the best game in video games today.
Is it dead now? It should be dead now at this point. So let me summarize.
Dead?
Oh, it should totally be dead at this point. It should be.
Dude, there's a vibrant and bustling community of Destiny players.
And that is why we get shit on, because we're idiots who buy that. And if you're still playing it, I'm not calling you an idiot.
Some people like it.
Here's the thing. I love Bungie. I love them. They are being complete assholes right now. They've taken it, they've rolled it back a little bit. So here's what's going on. Destiny the Taken King. It's going to be a big old expansion. So they could slap a big old price tag on it, $40. That was insane already. That's the cost of the first two expansions combined.
And how much does like a WoW expansion cost? Same price, $40?
Full release, $50, 40.
We're not doing
40,
the
50.
Destiny as an MMO thing, are we?
I mean, but people play it like an MMO. Kind of go in there and do their daily grinding stuff. It's just like, I mean, they do play it like an MMO. That's how people play it. They play the raids over and over. That's what people do in WoW. They go into multiplayer and they play the multiplayer. That's what people do in WoW too. I mean, there are some similarities
too.
But so you click buttons in Destiny.
No, Destiny does not have a vast open world that people actually. It's got these little tiny levels that you play over and over again.
It's most certainly not vast, but you know the majority of the World of Warcraft stuff is like
it barely even has a story.
Yeah, but
they're talking about Taken King having this amazing story. I'm like, is it going to make any sense this time? Am I going to know what's going on?
I'll give you a little bit, bits and pieces.
Yeah, we'll give you a taste of it. $40, another $40 down the road, then you'll have a story. So the biggest controversy was that there's this collector's edition for Destiny the Taken King that comes with the main game and both expansions for like $80, I think. And that contained exclusive items. It had XP boosts. It had like special... I think it had special weapons even in there.
It had a lot of good stuff. I'll be honest with you. I looked at it, my wallet twitched.
There are quotation marks around good in that sentence. Some people think it's good. Other people think it's not worth the money. You know, there's definitely some controversy there as far as how much that stuff is actually worth to the players. But that's either here nor there. I was just letting you know that his opinion isn't everybody's opinion on this podcast.
It was a lot of people. I mean, I'm out of Destiny. I'm not involved in the community at this point. But it was all over the place. People were really upset to the point that Bungie had to react. They had to apologize because Luke Smith, I think he was the creative director of Taken King.
Mm-hmm. I think it was him.
Apologize for an interview with Eurogamer where he said some bad stuff. He said, if I show you this content, you would throw money at the screen, stuff like that. He said he's a pretty sarcastic person, and I could see how that was maybe the case. He was definitely getting read extremely negatively, but the overall idea was, there's exclusive stuff, and if you want it, you're going to have to rebuy the main game and the expansions that you probably already own.
No, that is shitty.
So
there's no doubt about that.
And today, with that apology, they announced that for $20 you can get that exclusive digital content.
So there you go. Problem solved.
Is it?
No, that's the thing.
That solves the initial problem, but just at this point, can anyone honestly argue that Destiny is not a massive money grab? The way that they have structured this entire game, the way that
wait a minute.
DLC,
why are we blaming Bungie when Activision is notorious about this?
It may be Activision. I don't know their inner workings.
Well, I mean, look at Call of Duty. Look at anything else. Look at World of Warcraft, like we already talked about. They throw expansions out all the time, and they each have their own collector's editions. But then again, those are standalone expansions.
How many World of Warcraft expansions have there been?
Like about 75. Not exaggerating.
On Wikipedia, I'm jumping to expansions.
Nah, there's about at least 6. At least 6.
I think 5 or 6.
Or 5 expansions since the game launched in 2004.
But the good thing about what Blizzard does is that they make it free.
In a year.
They make the content free, though. I mean, after a while for Blizzard, for World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Bungie plans to do that. All I know is that I heard that all that content that was due for Xbox One users because of the PlayStation exclusivity is going to be rolled over to everybody, and that's going to be free. It's going to be all transformed into like a Taken King type thing, so you're going to have to be around that level to experience it or something.
I mean, it's really going to just come down to how much you like Destiny, how much you're willing to invest in Destiny to continue playing it and have all the stuff, right? I mean, they wouldn't offer it out there if they didn't think people would buy it. Maybe, this is for those people that want to continue the Destiny experience. It's an expansion, a full-priced expansion, or close to it. I mean, I see that it's wrong. I know that it's wrong. I don't really want to buy that, personally. But, then again, if you catch the bug of Destiny, $40 to continue it all is really not... for some people, they would say $40, the time I'm going to sink into that content is worth it. For some people, for people that are just going to run through the story missions and play it for what it is, face value, $40 might seem a little bit too much. But there's a lot of people that play Destiny that are into Destiny, that are into collecting everything, that are into, playing high level in the Crucible. Those people probably look at that $40 and go, what, $40 for another year or for another 6 months or however long it takes for the next expansion to arrive? That's justifiable for them.
I see how they can justify it. I'm questioning whether or not they should and whether it's bad for gaming in general that so many people are.
That's a totally different conversation, right? I mean, is it bad for gaming that some people like things and, these businesses are trying to capitalize on that? I mean, it just depends, right? It really depends on, how you're looking at it. Is it bad for gaming? Probably, if it's super successful, just because then every game's going to be like that. Because all businesses will jump into following that model because there's money to be made. But, if people are enjoying it, it's not up to somebody else to tell somebody what they should enjoy. And, that's as far as like reviews go on our site, I've always kind of tried to not really get into the price issue, because for everybody it's different. For some people, $40 is nothing. For some people, $40 is like a year's worth of bag and leaves for your parents or something, It just depends on the person. Is it a lot to you? It's a personal justification. Bungie certainly wouldn't put that shit out there if they didn't think people would buy it. And a lot of people bought Destiny.
I'm sure it's gonna sell out like crazy. I think the collector's edition has been selling out. I'm just saying. I mean, it would be different if Destiny was offering up a good, what I would view as a good experience. But to me, everything about it has been from the very beginning built to get players addicted. Not to give them a good time, not to supply.
Yeah, but that's video
enjoying
games since
gameplay.
1980.
But
give me another quarter to continue.
Yeah.
We're going to turn the difficulty up until you run out of money.
Yeah,
Kill
but those
screen.
games have been going away, except for in the mobile space, where rightfully I think they are criticized for that kind of mentality. And I feel like Destiny is just kind of the AAA video game equivalent of that mentality.
That's fucking crazy, Kyle.
What?
That is an insane comparison.
Getting people addicted.
So, like, the most egregious free-to-play mobile games, comparing that to Destiny, man, there's a lot of work that's been put into Destiny.
There was, yeah, and then they just kept. And look, if it was just $60 and maybe this extra content, I would say the base game barely hit the content quota for a AAA game. And then they threw in 2 expansions that barely hit the quota for qualifying as an expansion.
It depends on how you played Destiny. If you jumped in, like I said, and took it for face value, said I'm going to run through the story missions and I'm cool. I'm not trying to collect loot. I'm not trying to make another character. I'm not really going to play in the Crucible. If that was what you got from Destiny, then yeah, that Destiny is very lacking in content. But if you do play more than just the story missions, if you do want to get into the weekly strikes and all the organized events that pop up every few weeks or whatever, if you're into that and you buy into all that stuff in Destiny, there's a case to be made where there is an exorbitant amount of content in the game. Is there a massive world to explore? Is it like World of Warcraft or anything like that? No. But the stuff is layered in, like you said, I mean, some of that stuff is designed to get you hooked on it. Oh, well, I've got to collect all this stuff, and I've got to get all of these things, and I've got to go here, and it's a fucking grind. Yeah, but some people like that. I mean, there are plenty of games that are built on systems like that are very popular because some people like doing that sort of stuff. It does appeal to a certain type of person. I'm not saying that it doesn't.
The other thing is that that Destiny was so specifically designed for this and done so poorly for the consumer. And what I mean by that is think back to the very beginning of Destiny and the way that you could farm engrams. You get those, and finally you get a purple, and it gets translated into a blue. And the only way that we got that changed was from customer backlash. And I think we need some more of that for Destiny. It's really they are just pushing at the edges of what we will accept. And thankfully, people pushed back on this Taken King, and we did get some give there with the $20 standalone DLC. I just don't know. I feel like we need a little bit more push. From the very beginning, they've shown that the point of Destiny is not to. It's to give you a grind, and that's it. It's not an enjoy. Maybe people do enjoy it, but it is still not a fair grind, I guess would be the best way to say it. Like you have to grind, and then you might not like. I even tweeted once back when I was playing Destiny. The worst player was the only one getting good gear off of the random number generator at the end of games. And that's continued to this day. I know.
That's how random it was. That's a feature. That's a
feature. It's not a bug. It's a feature. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I just got very bitter towards Destiny, and I'm hoping that I'm seeing more and more. Okay. Seeing more and more that Bungie and Activision are not holding their customers in the best light at the moment. So, that's just me.
I don't know. I feel I got my money's worth. I mean, you got the collector's edition, so I see where your hatred's coming from.
Yeah. You got a plastic ghost. Just shut your mouth.
He talks too.
I know you don't like it. Send it to me.
We could have him on as a guest.
I will put that on my
podcaster.
Desk. I'll trade you a exclusive BlizzCon statue of Tyrael of Diablo 3 fame to for your ghost. Right now.
That is tempting.
I
Straight up.
want that material.
Well, you're not getting jack shit from me.
I want. Damn it! I have a statue of
man.
Batman that you can have.
There's also some physical stuff in this. What's coming with this thing? I can't even find it on Amazon at the moment.
I don't know, but if it's
official
as good as... I
Bungie
mean, you
site.
got all the stuff with the collector's edition for the original game. That stuff was pretty well made. It's like the journals and stuff like that. That stuff was really nice.
Bungie makes good physical collector's editions. They've always done that with going back to Halo. So,
Yeah,
I mean, the physical stuff should be cool.
It's just one of those things where it's going to be personal preference. Yeah, I mean, you can make the case for it all day long. Like, is this bad for gaming? Is this sort of thing bad? I mean, at the end of the day, Activision is a publicly traded company, and their only objective as a publicly traded company is to make money. You know, if you think these people are going to treat you fairly at every step, or they're not trying to get into your wallet, you know, you need to be a better informed consumer. If you know, that Destiny isn't for you, don't buy the $40 expansion and then cry that it's not what you wanted. There's, and as harsh as that sounds, there's plenty of, details about this sort of stuff before the release. There are reviews, there are videos,
For the DLC, I don't feel like there's been a lot of info. Like, even people are asking what's in the Taken King, and they say,
yeah, but if you played the original Destiny and you're
there.
thinking that a $15 expansion pack is going to, like, give the game a 180, you're just holding out hope that Destiny is something else, because it's not what it is. If you're waiting for them to, like, totally change this thing into, double the size of the world and make more missions, I mean, that's a lot of manpower that would take. It's not, I just don't see it happening in an expansion like that. This is probably going to be what you expect from Destiny at this point. If something says, here's what we got for this expansion. Okay, here's the next one. The next Call of Duty next Call of Duty DLC that comes out, I'm not going to be going, I wonder if this one's going to have 12 maps in it. Because it's not. It's going to have 4 maps. It's going to have a zombies mode. I mean, that's just, you get used to the level of quality that they're providing in these things. And I don't think it's going to change with Destiny. For the people that want, like, the people should know at this point whether they like Destiny or not.
Yeah.
Whether that's for them. I mean, are we going to see changes in the sequel? That's probably the next big spot for them to make significant changes to the game. Probably not in an expansion. Not in the way that people want.
I mean, they are pricing this almost as a sequel. It is $40. This Legendary Edition is $60. The Collector's Edition is $80.
That's fucking insane. They have an $80 expansion?
Yep.
That's fucking
Well,
crazy.
it comes with the original game.
That does come with, the original.
It comes with everything.
Even with just the base expansion, it is $40. That is pricing it as though it is a massive change for the game, a massive addition.
Get your money. Get your money, Bungie. Jesus Christ, that's pretty expensive.
Thank you.
No. I mean, for people who would consider buying it, such as yourself, I wouldn't. Never in a million years would I say, I'll get the $80 version.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't do that. Whatever it came with, that's just me personally. But, yeah, I could see why people are upset. Where did this outrage start? Reddit?
Everywhere. Reddit, NeoGAF, Twitter, the Bungie forums. It's been all over.
Guy called himself an asshat.
He did. Yeah.
He did. That's shows some humility.
Yeah.
I mean,
he did apologize. He owned up to that interview. So I guess it's going to be a question of how the Taken King turns out. If it does end up being more than double the 2 expansions, or I guess equal to the 2 expansions combined, then it'll be all right. If it's more than that, then fans should be pretty excited. I think another question that I have: these things keep increasing the level cap. Could someone even have a good time with just the base game at this point?
Yeah.
I haven't dove in. You think so? I haven't been in a while. They would be, 5 levels down at this point, and after the Taken King, they would be more.
Yeah, but once you get that stuff, it's pretty quick. Like, once you get to the 20 and you start jumping into raids and stuff and high-level strikes, you know, the Nightfall stuff, you can level up pretty quickly. Because my jump, I mean, actually, the early part of the game is the longest for me. Because once you start doing, there's so many different ways to get strong light or highlight armor that you go from whatever 20 something to 30 something pretty quick. Just depends on what you're doing. I mean, if you're just trying to grind through it by yourself, yeah, you're probably not gonna. It might. I think you still have a good time, but yeah, I don't think that's leaving people behind. Not at all.
I'd
Coming from someone who recently did that, went from 0 to 20 with a new character.
But you still had the additional content offered from the expansions, right?
Yeah, but you can't really jump into that stuff right away. You have to get to level 20, I think, to start doing that stuff at least. And some of it is such a high level, like the raids, that you can't hurt the enemies. Regardless, like I went in there with high level players as I was a level 20 something, and I didn't shoot once because I couldn't hurt them. So yeah, I mean, if you're just starting out and all your friends are level 30s and stuff, yeah, you might be a little shitty, but you can still have a good time with it. I mean, it's not like the shooting aspects of Destiny are bad. That stuff's fun.
It does still have fantastic shooting. So.
It's well balanced from level 1 to level 20 when you're going through the story. It's, you know, you can have a good time with it.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. I think it'll be a different discussion after Taken King comes out, whether I completely roll back. Of course it will be.
People are like, what is this?
or if everyone is still very, very angry at Bungie and Activision. But we will find out. It comes out September 15th. Another little bit of post-E3 news. They kind of tucked it away. I guess they didn't really want anyone to know it was coming, but Driveclub, the PS Plus edition, finally came out. Have you guys been waiting for this? I've followed the news, but I didn't really have any super big interest in Driveclub.
Yeah, I've just been waiting for it.
Yeah, so the original game came out in October, so that was 8 months ago. That
quite
we've been
some
waiting.
Time.
What's that?
Yeah, it's been quite some time. That's what I said.
So this was the free version of Driveclub. It's a little bit toned down. It's not like the full game, but it is the full experience. You can get all the trophies. It's only one location, and it's a limited selection of cars, I think. And it randomly popped up a couple of days ago without any news, and then they pulled it off the store and let everyone know that it would come out today, which is Thursday.
What's the file size if there's only one location?
I don't know. No one's really reported it. I did add it to my account, but I didn't go ahead and actually do the download.
I'm interested to try that. How are you supposed to get all the trophies if you only get one location? I mean, I guess they're all car-based? I don't know how that works.
That's a good question. Yeah, that was my first question, because it did say right on there, like, all 20, I think it's 27 trophies, including the platinum. But
maybe it'll be one of these free-to-play games where it rotates every month, the location.
No, it says it's very specific. I think it's India.
Oh.
13 tracks in India, one of the 6 locations in Driveclub.
The worst location.
Son of a bitch.
I played that game today, actually. I reviewed it. I think I gave it either a 3.5 or a 4. I think it's not a bad arcadey sort of racer. It's fucking a beautiful game. It's just the controls are a little bit... It depends on what you're looking for in a racing game. I mean, but this one's free, so you can find out if you like it or not by playing it. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I can actually download the PlayStation Plus version of the game. So I just popped in the regular. The the regular version, and got back on to see what has changed. I haven't found anything that's really changed all that much. I know they added some stuff, added a lot, done a lot of work on the online aspects of the game since launch. But I went in and tried to play the online races today to see if they worked. Mm-hmm. And honestly, since launch, I haven't been able to play that stuff. Like when I was reviewing it, it worked. There's a rotating events system that kind of there's 12 of them on the screen at once, and they're counting down in a timer, and you can just jump in, and I guess they just rotate, and I guess PlayStation Network people jump in and say, this one's counting down for 15 seconds, I'm going to jump in this one and race. I have never gotten that to work outside of when I was reviewing it, and that was before the game launched. After that, it has never worked for me. I don't know what the deal is, whether it's broken, whether it is something on my end, or whether no one's playing it. I don't know. If there's just not a vibrant enough community to fill up that stuff or not. But I've never got a chance. They just always say expired, and then I have to say, okay, well, I don't want to play online then. But I haven't tried to play with friends or a party, but apparently that works. So they definitely had some stuff rolling through there that said PlayStation Plus event, where you could jump into PlayStation Plus events, but those didn't work either. So I don't know. I did some research trying to find if people were having problems with the game or not. Didn't see anything negative on Reddit or Twitter or anything. So apparently the game's working. It's been out for 12 hours. It better be.
So
it's been 2 years. It's 2 years too late, right?
They said the online multiplayer will be rolled out to the PS Plus edition, in groups. The file size, by the way, 14.7 gigs.
I believe it. It's a big game.
Yeah.
Pretty game.
So, if the issue is that there weren't enough players, the PS Plus edition should ramp that up.
Well, that's the thing. On launch day for this thing, that's why I wanted to jump on today to see if this stuff would work. And in these event screens, that there's stuff that I have access to with the full game, and then there's these gold PS Plus event lobbies, and I tried to join those too and it didn't work. So I don't know. I really don't know what the fuck is going on with that game. As far as that match-made multiplayer goes, I don't know if it works, if it doesn't work, or what. But
that was the big problem. That's what caused the 8-month delay for the PS Plus edition, is that online multiplayer was just completely broken at launch. So
yeah, but it wasn't.
It's continued.
It wasn't just that. It was that. The core of that game is built around these challenge events, while you're driving. Just while you're racing, there's meta challenges throughout that race of stay on this line for as long as you can and try and beat this other person on PlayStation Network score, or drift around this corner, stuff like that, and how long can you do it for, score points and beat the other people. So there's this meta game that kind of feeds into an overarching car club. You're in a club and you're trying to score points and level up, and you get skins and that sort of shit. So all that stuff kind of hinged on that stuff on the online stuff working, not just people being able to team up and play. So it had a lot of issues. It seems like that stuff's working. I've been kind of tracking the progress of my car club, because I pop the game in once in a while when there's major updates, and it seems like that stuff's sort of progressing. So the people that are in that group are actually earning points and doing that stuff. So we'll see if that community starts to blossom because of this. I don't know. You guys haven't really played the game. Are you excited to play it?
I'm excited because it was delayed so much and became such a big thing. I'll probably play it maybe an hour and then just not pick it up again. But it's also not my kind of racing game, so.
Sounds like you're excited to see it fail.
No.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to see it succeed after 8 months of watching it fail.
Well, I'm excited to try it out, but I'm actually curious, for PlayStation Plus users, are we going to get access to the content that's free? The free DLC that they released? Probably not.
Probably not. I think it is limited to just what it was supposed to be 8 months ago, and that's it.
Darn. still excited. Still want to try it because I mean, I don't have any racers anymore on my PS4, so I might as well give that one a run.
Yeah. Well, speaking of broken launch games, you got to play Batman Arkham Knight, but you actually played it on PS4. What
I did.
What was your experience like? Because mine's been a little bit different.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
My experience was great. I think it's a great game. I'll talk about that later, but I want to hear about your experience with the PC version of Arkham Knight.
So
I hear that it's been pretty rough.
It has. It hasn't been as rough for me as it has been for other people. I think mostly because I've been slow to get into the game. Apparently, as you get deeper into the game, it gets worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I got mine free with my brand new GTX 970. So I was like, well, I'm going to actually max this thing out and make it look all pretty. No, that's not what I did. They had it locked to 30 frames. So I had to go in and edit a file to unlock that. The texture quality only goes up to normal. And they're not great looking, at least for PC standards. Apparently there's a lot of actually graphical features that are disabled, even compared to the PS4 version, which is absurd.
There you go, Master Race.
Yeah.
There you go.
Jeez. Everyone does that. Like,
it's the default reflex. Like, told you so. I've been telling you for years that the PC sucks.
You've had a good run.
PC.
The last 100 games. Being
now
better
you show
on
your
PC.
true colors.
Here you go.
You show your true colors. But it's not. It's not just Batman. I mean, PC ports are a problem. They always have been. Some are good, some are bad. It depends on how well the developers, or how much freedom the developers give the people who are purchasing the game, right? They can either lock them down into strange resolutions and low frame rates, or they can, develop that stuff to allow players to utilize their PCs to their maximum capacity. This game apparently allows you to do none of that.
Yeah. But I mean, like I was telling Anthony, like most of these complaints, aside from the crashing and the couple of features that apparently have been disabled, or I don't know what. Most of the complaints are, hey, this is playing like a console game. This is locked at 30 frames. Okay, well, so are the PS4 and Xbox One versions. Those are 30 frames as well.
Yeah, but I think those people are probably mad. I'm not well versed on the Arkham. I own Batman Arkham Origins on PC, and that is a beautiful game. So yep. I'm not sure, and I believe it does run at higher than 30 frames per second. I'm guessing that the other games probably do as well.
Yes.
City and Asylum. So people are probably like, wait, this is not what I thought it was going to be, right? I thought this was going to be the superior version because the other ones have been. And, I mean, they're probably rightfully pissed. And it's not like Warner's backing away from this. The game is no longer for sale.
Yeah, that was actually an interesting move. I think that was actually a good move on their part. They pulled it from pretty much every PC store, including Steam. So that's going to hurt them and just their bottom line. Like I'm sure they were getting a lot of refunds because now Steam offers refunds, but people like me that got it through NVIDIA can't go through that process. So
yeah, but you got it for free.
That is true. But they got money from NVIDIA.
But you did equate that into your purchase, because we talked about that when we were both talking about video cards. We're like, damn, The Witcher and Batman. That's like
exactly
taking $120 right off the top. Because I'm going to play those games anyway. I remember talking about that. So yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people did the exact same thing. Like, fuck, I'm going to buy Batman. This might be the time to upgrade. I'm
really surprised that NVIDIA didn't get more involved in this and make sure that it was a smooth launch, because it is using a lot of NVIDIA proprietary graphics technology. And when you boot the game, it actually shows the NVIDIA logo and says the way to play or something like that. and then you get into it, and they gave it away for free. NVIDIA was very tied into this, and it's one of the worst PC launches in recent memory.
Yeah, but I hear it's even worse for AMD.
Yeah, no, the performance is definitely worse for AMD because of that stuff. Where NVIDIA is kind of getting a little shady lately, actually, but they're getting devs to use their proprietary code and
that's cool.
Their special features.
I own NVIDIA.
Yeah, it's good for me right now. I could just upgrade it to a 970. But
yeah, but apparently the DirectX 12 stuff is going to allow you to like use multiple graphics cards and pull like all the power from all of them and stuff like that. So it's probably not going to be this huge big of a problem going forward. But regardless, there's like a huge backstory to this. This whole PC port thing, like it was made by 12 people. They had 8 weeks to do it.
Yeah, that was. I think that's such still a big kind of launch. In the rumor
I don't know.
Area.
No, I mean like you see, Iron Galaxy.
Iron Galaxy, that's the company.
Is the developers that did it, and like the head of the studio, the owner of that studio, is like on Twitter saying like, here, you have an issue with this, go to the Warner Brothers forums, and there's your solution.
The source was from the actual Arkham Knight credits, showing that Iron Galaxy was in charge of the additional engineering and PC support, and that under that section there were only 12 people. That's okay. Well, that's not a rumor. That's pretty confirmed.
There may be more than 12 people that work there. There may be more than 12 people that put their hands on the game. But regardless, there's even other backstory and rumors. I don't even know if this is rumor. I don't know. I wasn't following the PC, minimum requirements news for this game. But apparently they changed like right before the game launched. Right before the game launched to make the minimum requirements higher.
Yeah, they've been shifting them around a little bit, and they came out and quote unquote clarified that the recommended specs were for 30 frames, and everyone is kind of saying, well, no, that's not how it works. Like the recommended specs on PC should be for running it at 60 frames per second. That's just standard operating procedure for a PC game at this point. So they're kind of trying to cover their tracks a little bit while also being very upfront and admitting their mistakes, pulling the game. So it's been a little back and forth, but I think it is more on the good side. Pulling the game, though, really actually worries me because I already have the game, and now I'm wondering how long it's going to take them to fix this thing. Jeez. Really?
Holy crap. Kyle, you should probably go get yourself a PS4 version.
Yeah, will be available on SteamOS, Linux, and Mac in fall, but I think that's different.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know when it's going to be fixed.
I think it's only a few months, really, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, we're seeing that with other games like Driveclub, right? It took a full year to get this thing working and out to people in the way that they said they were going to do it. It's a problem.
It is, and
it's not
I
going
thought
away.
everyone learned their lesson in 2014. I mean, that was a disastrous year for AAA gaming, but here we go. This is probably one of the biggest releases of this year, easily one of the biggest releases of this year, and they just fucked it up.
Fucked it up.
Whole thing on PC.
Yeah, for you though. But Batman Arkham Knight is a good game on consoles. It's a great game on consoles, in my opinion. But
I mean, even just the hour that I put in has been enjoyable when it has run well. So, do you want to talk about it? You actually did the review on PS4, and it did look friggin' amazing.
I gave it a 5 out of 5. I haven't given that many games a 5 out of 5. The last few have been like GTA 5, The Last of Us, and Persona 4 Golden. So, I mean, it's pretty rare for me to give a game a 5 out of 5, and I thought it was deserving of that. In my opinion, these are some of my favorite games from the last gen. Asylum City I liked more than Asylum. Origins was okay, but I think this one kind of comes back to the core of what made those original games so much fun, builds on that base, and then adds the layer of the Batmobile on top of that, which it's not always perfect, but I think it's for the most part well implemented, and they don't scrap out a bunch of like the stuff you're expecting from the game as far as the combat and exploration, the detective mode stuff, the puzzles, the multiple side stories that you can go down traditionally in those games. I just think they built on what they know best and then added that layer on top of it. And aside from there being some pretty rote combat sequences in Arkham Knight with the Batmobile, the overall like jumping in and out of it, gliding out of it, ejecting, jumping, calling for it, and it just coming to you and you slide in and then you're on your way to whatever the next mission is. That stuff's pretty well done to the point where it really kind of immerses you in that world just in another way that the other games didn't. You kind of use it to like you can use it to take down enemies, you can use it as a teammate, you can use it to get you out of tight situations. It's it's just one of those things. The Batman comics and the movies and stuff have always kind of had that in them, where Batman's in a corner. What am I going to do? I'm going to call the fucking Batmobile. And that stuff's pretty good. Really good.
I had that in the demo at E3. I had a couple of those, and that was really cool. But I think you mentioned that the combat sequences go a little long, and I was kind of already feeling that.
Yeah, they're kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It just
they're not
felt like
bad.
very
Like
standard.
you can get into it, and it can get challenging. So it's not horrible, but it's definitely the Achilles heel of adding that Batmobile in there. And I don't know, if they put that in there they're like, well, we got to build some more onto this Batmobile. We took a lot, even in that interview you did, he's like, yeah, we built this game around the Batmobile. Mm-hmm. So you could see that they say, okay, we've got to find some other ways to use this. I don't know if that was the best choice personally, because like I said, all the other stuff feels really like organic to the Batman universe, and that stuff doesn't. Maybe if it was shorter, it might be better, but it's not. Sometimes this stuff drags on, especially if you don't upgrade the Batmobile. If you're just kind of not putting your points into the cannon and the armor, that stuff can drag on.
How long was the game overall? How long did it take you to beat it?
It's probably, I would say, you could sink in 40 hours to it. You could probably sink in 12. It just depends on how quickly you want to take down or go down that main story path. But there's so much other stuff in that world.
The Riddler challenges.
Yeah, there's Riddler challenges. There's like saving firefighters. There's going through and like beating or defeating or cleaning out all of the Arkham Knight's tanks and troops and different towers. And there's a there's just a lot of stuff, and I don't want to spoil some of the stuff because it just kind of pops up where you're meeting new characters, you're saving friends, and it really just immerses you in that world. And I think it really gels together in a cool way. I criticized Arkham City for kind of taking you off that path, the main story path. But this one, it feels a little different because all that stuff feels like it ties together more overall, in my opinion. For Arkham City, it was, there was a long story path. And going off of that, there was like a timer, like the city's in danger and you've got to save it in this amount of time. And while this one's the same, I just think all that side content kind of gels a little bit better. And I think the main story, like that core story, isn't quite as long.
Does it tie into like is Riddler? Because Riddler was just kind of random in the last couple of games, but does it actually try to tie it together with Scarecrow and his whole plan to get all the bad guys together, or is it still a little random?
Well, I'm still working on all the Riddler challenges.
Okay.
And to beat the Riddler, you have to actually do all the challenges.
Yeah.
So there's like a final battle with him that you have to you can only take on once you've gotten all the challenges, like 250 challenges. It's a pretty significant amount of content, and that stuff can take a while. So before the review, I didn't get that stuff done, no. But yeah, I mean, all the cool stuff about the game, the stuff that you expect from the previous games, the combat, that stuff's there, and it's still very, very strong.
Yeah, I think you said the series was not broken, so they didn't try to fix it.
No, not in those respects. Idea. But like I said, almost everything that they added to it adds to the game. Builds on to what was already a good experience. So, I mean, they very well could have just made the same game over again, right? And a lot of the stuff is very familiar. You can't go in expecting a complete rewrite there, But the combat's been tweaked. You can pick up weapons. You can do dual takedown moves with like Robin and Nightwing. In Catwoman, you can do a fear takedown mode where you kind of have like a bullet time thing where you're going back and forth between characters, and the stuff adds a lot of graphical flair to the game, and it doesn't take away from the combat or the flow of the combat. So yeah, I mean, you've got that stuff. You've got the puzzles, the traditional puzzles to solve, like the Riddler stuff, the story mission things. You've got the detective mode stuff where you're analyzing crime scenes and analyzing tape and taking fingerprints and doing all that stuff. I mean, you've got all that same core content from the other games, and even though some of it's got a new layer of paint on it, obviously, but for the most part, my takeaway on Batman Arkham Knight was that it was building onto a really great premise, and was. The stuff that they added actually made the game better in a lot of ways. So I gave it a 5 out of 5. I like it. I continue to like it. I'm definitely going to continue to play it. I will more than likely play New Game Plus. I'm not sure yet, but I'm just trying to, kind of still whittle down those many side things to do.
I'm still excited about it. I got about an hour into it without any kind of crashing or anything, so I might leave that. Apparently changing unlocking the frame rate causes a lot of the crashes, the full-on crashes. So I might lock that back down to 30 and see if I can at least just get through it. Because, I mean, it looks just so much fun. Just, like you said, I mean, I loved Arkham City. I loved Arkham Asylum. And this looks like those with a little bit more on top. And that's really all that I wanted.
I have to say it's a beautiful game. Just looking at it, standing over it as Batman, looking all onto the expanse of it, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they rendered all of Gotham City this time, so it's a lot bigger world. I've actually found, I was driving around in the Batmobile, and I think that I prefer gliding. Am I alone in that?
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Gliding.
I like the option.
Yeah, it's nice to have. I'm definitely not trying to criticize it. It's good to have the Batmobile. It's really cool, but did they improve after a little bit jump out. What's that?
Did they improve the gliding? Because it feels like a lot sleeker, It feels a little different.
I'd have to do a comparison, but I'm sure that they did a little bit of tweaking.
It feels a lot sleeker. Like, you can get higher up, you can go farther. I don't know. It just seems different in a way.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, the Batmobile sequences, they kind of feel like you're driving a Twisted Metal car. I feel Rocksteady would make a really good Twisted Metal game after playing this.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just...
There's a lot of variety in that stuff, too. I mean, you can do those... They always find a way to kind of incorporate that stuff into the game, whether it's like in Riddler challenges where you go through obstacle courses. You've got like chase missions where you're using like a homing missile to take out vehicles, and then you've got like the things where you're quartered off into an area and you're battling with tanks in that mode. So I mean, there's some variety in that stuff. The more and more I played it, the more I was. When I first started playing, I was too like, well, maybe I don't need this Batmobile. The more I played it, the more I was like, this is fun. Like once you learn how to control it, it just feels powerful. It sounds awesome. And once you start utilizing it in the right situations where you're pulling out, you're pulling up to a fight and you get out and you can use it to, do a takedown on enemies through the remote control. I mean, there's some stuff that, like, once you really get familiar and acclimated with it, it's like, oh yeah, this is very well implemented. It's just that sometimes you're like, I don't want to fight 15 tanks right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the implementation is great. Just the tank-on-tank combat, I feel, was a little overzealous.
Well, so you gave it a 5 out of 5. Hopefully I can actually finish it and give it some kind of review. Have you been playing, Anthony? Are you pretty deep into it?
I'm pretty far into it. I think on the story I'm 50-something% into the story, but I've done a lot of the side villains and all that stuff, side missions. Those are pretty fun. All in all,
Sweet.
I think it's probably the greatest superhero game I ever played. Just so good.
Which,
So good.
I mean, there haven't been a lot of great superhero games other than
Well, you got
Batman.
Spider-Man 2.
They're really
Spider-Man
only
2 was
competing
good.
with themselves.
Yeah.
Spider-Man games, come on.
Spider-Man
Those Spider-Man
2
games
was
copied
decent,
off of...
but-
Are you talking about the new Spider-Man games by Beanox?
Well, no, like the Spider-Man 2 games, like, back on the PS2 era, when those were good games.
For some reason, they can never get Superman right. My boy Superman.
Which is also, more
Yeah.
rumors. There's apparently Easter
were-
eggs and stuff
There's
in
a
there.
lot of LexCorp. A lot of LexCorp.
Which Rocksteady said that they're leaving Batman, but maybe?
But Batman versus Superman's another story.
I'd totally play that. I'd be on board in a
Who do you
heartbeat.
choose?
I'd
Batman or
pre-order it on
Superman?
PC. I'd be ready to go.
I like the logo for the LexCorp signs. It's the tagline, "Bringing hope to Gotham." So maybe Superman invades Gotham or some crazy shit. I don't know. I don't care. I'd play it.
Theorizing time. Here we go.
Here we go.
I mean, maybe they'll just do a Superman game. They don't need Batman.
That's the thing. They perfected one superhero. Can they perfect flying?
I could see them. I mean, Batman essentially glides
It's
in these
really,
games.
it's really
Or
hard,
flies.
dude.
I mean, he...
Yeah, but
If-
Superman can fly much faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that pinpoint turns as Superman. I don't think they're gonna be able to do it, man.
Oh, they can do it. Everyone said they couldn't do Batman. They won't pull it off like crazy.
You'll see some funny ass glitches. I'll tell you that. They make a Superman game.
Well, Will, did you play anything else, or were you strictly Batman? I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah. I really have only been playing Batman since we got back. No, I haven't played anything else. I literally haven't played anything else except threes. That is it.
No,
Anthony, what about you?
I played some Elder Scrolls.
How's
Elder
that going?
Scrolls Online, trying to get got my first preview up after the E3 delay of it. Got my first preview up for that, and it's really good. I got into it again. I did another dungeon today. It's getting there. It's pretty fun. I mean, I'm still trogging through it. I'm not finding it very repetitive yet. I'm still enjoying everything that happens. A couple fetch quests here and there, but it's to be expected.
That's good. I'm still interested in that game, especially since I don't have to pay a monthly fee anymore. But
Yeah,
I've never
that's the
paid a
thing.
monthly fee for a video game, and I don't want to start now.
If you
So-
pay that monthly fee, you'll get the expansion for free.
But how much is the expansion by itself?
They have not announced that yet.
It's going to be... When's it coming out?
The end of this year sometime.
So
Like fall.
6 months
Fall.
times $15. Is it going to be more than $90?
Probably not.
Then
I'd say it's probably
a
gonna be
better
like a-
deal to not pay for that monthly fee.
I'd say it's probably going to be like a $20 expansion.
Yeah. I don't know. I still haven't dove in. I played a lot of Elder Scrolls actually pre-release. I was in the beta, and I hit it at a couple of conventions. It looked good. I mean, it looked like Elder Scrolls with more people running around.
After looking into it more, I think Will, you'll probably be able to get yours. Because I think if you played Elder Scrolls Online on PC within the first 2 weeks of release, you're automatically eligible to get a console code. So
Yeah, I still don't know that I want that, but
give it to Kyle.
Yeah, shoot it over. I'll take it.
Get it on PS4. Join the Attack of the Fanboy Clan. Yeah. Hey, I'm meeting people in dungeons and I'm inviting them in. We're growing in numbers.
There you go. How you do?
Growing in numbers.
Yeah,
So
I probably wouldn't be able to put a ton of time into that though. I don't know.
Nah.
MMOs eat your life. That
They
is
do.
the game that you play.
That's if you have a life to begin with.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
I'm over here just trying to spread my time between Arkham Knight, trying to be the Batman over here, or Elder Scrolls. So it's hard. And I picked before E3. I picked up Witcher, so I'm staring at that like, free DLC. Fuck.
Yep. That's
Where's my
sitting
free
on
time?
computer. I still haven't touched it. That also came with my 970. Nope. Don't. I
And then
can't
and then now you're telling me Driveclub. Oh Jesus.
Yep.
Headache.
Well, I mean, we'll talk about it more in a little bit, but at least there's not much else coming out, so we should have plenty of time to catch up on things.
Yeah, this seems like the month to do it. There really isn't much coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much at all.
Or not this month, but next month.
Next month, yeah. So I tried to get Batman in. I got like an hour of tinkering with it, trying to get it to look like it should, but not much else. Played a little bit of Dr. Mario on the 3DS, which is pretty good. Hey, have you guys been Dr. Mario fans?
I think I owned that on like a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's like Tetris with pills, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's
Which
like
they've
the
added.
PCP version of Tetris.
Sure. We'll say yes.
Is that eShop game? Is that a remake of something old, or is that something completely new?
It's new in that it's a Dr. Mario sequel. There's not much that you can really do with that formula. They've added things called cures, which are like little power-ups that let you eliminate more viruses at a time, like a bomb or like something that clears a line at once. So, I mean, it's a sequel, but it's a sequel to Dr. Mario, just like a Tetris sequel is just like, all right, it's Tetris. Same for Dr. Mario. The multiplayer is supposed to be pretty good. I just haven't had a chance to actually
Is that online?
sit down and play with anyone. Yeah, I think it does have online. I need to dive into that actually. Check that out some more, because that's apparently you can do more with the cures. Like the cures in single player just kind of help you eliminate the viruses a little bit faster. But
is it like a battle Tetris sort of thing?
Yeah. The cures in multiplayer will be like reverse their controls or like add viruses on their side.
Well,
that
actually is probably pretty fun.
Yeah, that should be pretty cool. I've been trying to get through the single player, but I'm probably gonna dive into multiplayer soon.
It reminds me of Pokemon Puzzle Quest.
Yeah, I mean they all,
Yeah.
the puzzle genre just kind of all copies each other.
Yeah, they all have their own
stuff.
Tetris thing. Yeah. So, what do you got? That's all you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I also played a little bit more Splatoon. New million sellers for Nintendo. They're still pumping out.
Yes. Congratulations.
New-ish maps. They're maps that are on the disc, but it's new to me. So, yeah.
They also released a gun, didn't they?
They've released a lot of guns. One of their new guns is my new favorite. Actually, it's ridiculously fast fire rate, so that works perfectly for me. Yeah, they're releasing guns. They're releasing maps. All like at least one a week for pretty much everything. So just if you're one of those million players, keep checking in on Splatoon. There's a lot going on.
Let me ask you something. Your time with Arkham Knight, you said it was limited.
Yeah, but an hour.
But are the complaints of how it performs, like, are there serious, like, frame rate issues, or is it steady? It's just low.
No, I haven't tried it very long locked at 30. I'm probably going to try that next time I boot it up.
Okay.
But if you bump it up to 60, which
is not an option that's in the game, you have to actually alter the files.
Yes. But it should be able to run at 60.
If the developers made it to.
If they didn't, then it's an even worse situation. It's just a PC game should never be limited that way. So, yeah, I get what you're saying, though. Yes.
I'm just wondering, are these issues something that are, obviously it's a horrible thing for Warner Brothers if they've taken it off. They're obviously it's not up to their level of quality. I'm just wondering, what the experience is like as far as like the differences between that version and the the console version.
It completely depends on the player. It seems like it is just it's not robust enough to handle different configurations. So people with like my setup in the Batmobile, most situations it will stay above 30. It will stay between 30 and 60. It'll do a lot of dipping, it'll do a lot of shifting around, but it'll still stay above that 30. So if I lock it, it's probably okay, except if I'm in the Batmobile. And if I'm shooting stuff. But I'm not very far into the game. I've seen a lot of people whose game has completely crashed, even with that 30 frame lock still in place.
That
so
sucks.
hard crash to desktop. They've had hanging where it freezes for a solid half a second, not just dropping the frame rate. So there are more issues than just raising that frame rate and then not getting a performance that you're looking for.
There's a lot of texture popping.
Apparently, if you have it on a mechanical hard drive, I was lucky to install it to my SSD. I debated that quite a bit, and apparently I made the right choice. So if you have it on a mechanical hard drive, they explicitly say there are issues with that, and you will have streaming issues because the game, it does that, there's no loading screen, it just loads in the background all the time. So if it's on a mechanical hard drive, apparently it's going to have some major texture pop in.
Yeah, that sounds shitty.
Yep. So hopefully they can really clear that up. I mean, it's one of the biggest games of the year. We'll see. They're taking the right steps. So as long as they keep going and they actually put in the effort, we should be all right, given enough time.
Could be another year of broken ass games.
It looks like it's gonna be. So
Save us,
guessing,
Fallout 4. Save us.
No, Fallout 4
Dude,
is
if
going
you
to
think
be broken.
Fallout 4 is going to be the one that saves us,
It's gonna save us.
you haven't been
PS4,
following along.
baby.
But
I got my
here's the
Pip
thing.
Boy.
Everyone knows Fallout 4 is going to be broken, and that's perfectly fine because it will offer.
Everybody's just gonna give him a pass.
No, man.
Fuck it, I got my Pip
Bethesda,
Boy.
No.
Bethesda gets a pass.
No,
Bethesda
they don't,
gets a
man.
pass.
Right?
Yes,
They
do.
get a pass on some shit, like a horse fucking going up the side of a mountain with crazy gravity and glitches and stuff. Yeah, they get a pass on that stuff because people are going to make funny videos. But like New Vegas, I know Bethesda didn't make that, but there was literally a glitch that would not let you progress through the first mission of the game.
Yeah,
and
that stuff's
that
bad.
kind of stuff is unacceptable, right? I don't care who you are. On this day and age, you've got people that are just with a lot of reach and a lot of authority in dealing with a lot of people that can focus the talk on, this game is fucking broken. Fuck these people. I want my money back. They're not going to get a free pass.
They get a free pass because the game, as long as they aren't those game-ending bugs, if they're just the crazy bugs that have been in every single Bethesda game, because what they do deliver is worth dealing with those bugs.
Yeah, that's true.
And everyone knows it's going to be buggy at the start, and they follow up and they do get it stable. It's just they don't get it stable.
Dude, but it took them quite a while to get Skyrim going on PlayStation 3.
Oh yeah, that was a disaster.
Yeah, they have a history.
They will need to
knock on wood.
That. What other
knock on wood for PS4?
What other big games are we looking at that are going to be broken?
Well, Assassin's Creed, because last year's debacle.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be broken. Let me pull up a sheet here.
Oh, that's kind of harsh.
I want to call
Counting
these
the chicken
off.
already.
All right, so October to December, that's the big time frame. Black Ops 3, that's probably going to be stable.
More than likely.
Yeah.
Never
Rise of
has
the
been
Tomb Raider.
broken.
Your most stable game is Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Destiny, fuck it.
Taken King, that'll probably be pretty stable. Halo 5, I think, despite what happened with Master Chief Collection, I think Halo 5 is going to be stable. The beta was extremely stable. I think they have that on lockdown.
I think that they're not going to realize how many people are going to buy that game. They're not going to be ready.
I mean,
it's like, wait a minute. We really have that many people who own the console right now? Holy shit.
Did you guys play the Gears of War beta? Was that stable?
I didn't get on it.
I had that one glitch where it wouldn't let you sign on. It says you do not have the clearance to play this game.
The worst glitch of them all. The one where you can't play it.
Yeah, even though I already did. I got when I got home, I got like a message on my Xbox that said, here's your free Gears beta code. And I redeemed it, downloaded it, went to play it. You do not have access. But you gave me the code! Xbox, what are you doing? So yeah.
You know what game is going to be ridiculously broken? Rainbow Six Siege. I'm calling that right now.
Broken.
I think you're just picking on Ubisoft.
I am picking on Ubisoft.
That's mean. Hey, Far Cry 4 wasn't broken. Was it?
Was it?
Was it, guys?
I think it was pretty stable.
No, it was pretty stable, except for the online, which I played a good bit of.
Nobody plays the online.
Doesn't mean you can launch it broken. If you're going to have it in the game, it shouldn't be broken. It wasn't broken playing it. That's the thing. And it was a really good multiplayer game. A unique take on multiplayer. But, getting in the same room with your friends to play was an issue. Finding games that didn't just quit out to the lobby was an issue. I think it was a technical thing, but it's hard to tell. There probably wasn't that much spotlight put on it just because nobody was playing it. But I thought it was actually pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, look at Unity. I mean, Will reviewed that game last year, and he didn't have any issues, but a lot of other people did.
Because I reviewed it on the Xbox One. It didn't have the same problems as PlayStation or PC.
Yeah, and I got it on PS4, and I didn't have any issues either. I mean, like he said, it's all about the people who catch it and the voice they use to, put it out there. I mean, I don't know.
No, I mean,
it depends.
It could be a vocal minority in a lot of cases.
I don't think these companies wouldn't be offering free shit for a vocal minority. Ubisoft offered free DLC for the game because of that.
Mm-hmm. And they quit the season pass.
Canceled the season pass, yeah.
But I think with the PC community especially, those are like the very, very vocal, and they're not a minority. There are a lot of PC owners, a lot of people that are waiting for games to come out as the superior versions because their PCs are more powerful than the consoles that they've bypassed, to just play on PC. And when they don't get that, when developers are holding back their game because of consoles, it's obviously disappointing. But this Batman stuff.
Yeah, and I mean they could have delayed it. That's what everyone is kind of saying. Like, it would have been annoying, but just look at Metal Gear Solid 5. It's coming out 2 weeks early on consoles, and the PC version comes out 2 weeks later. So it better work. And I'm guessing that they did that so that they could take some extra time and make sure that PC version is working well. So maybe they should have done the same thing here. What's that?
It means that's exactly what it means. It's like the console version is going to be broken when it launches, so we're going to need these 2 weeks to fix the console version. Then when the PC version launches, we're going to need another 2 weeks to fix that game. So we might as well space these out because our team's not big enough to handle all three fires at once.
Well, do you guys even remember what it was like to play Metal Gear Online on Metal Gear Solid 4? And that was just one platform. When that shit released, it was broke as fuck. You couldn't get into a room. You couldn't get into a room with friends. Nada. So imagine this now and multiply that by 2 and then PC by 3. Konami doesn't have the manpower. They just don't. So it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, when was the last multiplayer online Konami game you played?
I don't even know the last Konami game I played.
Eggs.
Metal Gear Solid 4?
Hi-oh. PT, hi-oh.
Yeah.
Ground Zeroes.
Ground
Yeah.
Zero.
Ground Zeroes seems pretty solid.
Yeah, but there's no online
but
component.
it's no online.
That's the big part that Anthony is talking about, which makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. I was even writing it off. I wasn't thinking the Metal Gear Solid would be broken at all, but yeah, the online could
Got
be.
potential. I think just about anything that has an online element to it these days that doesn't have like an extensive beta beforehand has a good chance of launching broken.
Yeah. Now I'm worried about
that's the
Mad
thing.
Max on PC because WB Games is kind of showing this disdain for PC versions of their game. Mortal Kombat X was the first one, or Mortal Kombat 9 was the first one, I guess. I don't know. We'll find out. Now I'm worried. My poor PC.
What is the next big game that comes out? That's my question.
Yeah, I'm on here. It depends on your definition of big game.
Madden.
Sorry.
Rare Replay in August? There's really no big games in July unless you want to count the God of War remaster or Rory McIlroy PGA Tour.
Well, Dean's getting excited for that one.
Yeah. Lego Batman 3 comes out on iOS. So that took
Why?
a bad turn. I saw it and I'm like, oh, Lego Batman 3. Oh.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cute.
Wow, it may be Madden Until Dawn, which comes out the same day as Madden.
What is that, like the only Sony game releasing this year?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
the only
going to be a
original
rough
IP.
couple of months. So yeah, this kind of ties into what are you excited for? And I'm looking at this release chart, and I'm just not seeing much. This post E3 is going to be a dull.
It looks like the only game I'm
couple
buying
of
in
weeks.
July is freaking God of War. A game I already have on my shelf.
Yeah, I mean, Super Hot looked like a cool little indie game. It's the one where the game time moves forward whenever you move. But for big games,
I heard a lot of good things about that at E3.
Yeah, that's been looking good for a while. So that comes out sometime this month.
Yeah, well, maybe there will be, some early access stuff, some things we're not anticipating in the next couple months because somebody's going to step in to fill that.
If you're not in America, you can get Yoshi's Woolly World, and you can call me and tell me how cute it is.
When does that come out in U.S.?
October.
So sad, Kyle.
It's already out in the rest of the world, and it comes out October 16th in the U.S.
We're going to have to find
again.
something else to talk about besides video games on the coming podcast.
The AOTF Podcast number 17 will be about knitting.
So
And alcohol.
How about those
Different kinds of
Padres?
scotch. Different kinds of scotch. The Scotch Cast.
I had a friend who mixed 12-year-old scotch with Mountain Dew, and I told him I had some people that would probably kill him if they found that out.
He's a bag of something.
Yeah, it doesn't sound particularly appetizing.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. So on that note, we should probably wrap this up. You got something else, Anthony? Something else?
Well,
video
no,
game?
I mean, I was gonna say, nobody's talking about like what they're gonna play next week. Nothing at all.
That's what we've been talking about now. Is nothing.
My game plan goes like this. I want to finish off my Riddler challenges. I'm going to put Batman to bed. Maybe I'll pick it up back a little bit later. But after that, I got to get back into The Witcher, or I'm never going to, or I'm going to get to the point of no return where I just can't get back into it.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks since I picked it up. I was super into it a couple of weeks ago before E3, and now it's like, what am I doing?
You can always get into it when they release the first expansion, or
yeah, but
I've
already put in 20, 30 hours into that game, I think. So I really need to get back on board with the story. Because that's a fantastic game. I've been enjoying that. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be. After Batman, after I finish up the challenge stuff, I definitely need to get back into The Witcher. And then maybe God of War 3.
I actually have to play some Tales from the Borderlands. So that I got all 3 episodes to play through that. It is supposed to be Telltale's best, so that's a high bar. We'll see. I haven't touched it.
I'm gonna actually go into unventured plains. Is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to the Xbox preview program that they announced at E3. Shut up, Will. I'm trying to be artistic.
Unventured plains.
Here I am in this fertile land.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go try into some uncharted waters now.
Why not?
Shut up, Will. I'm trying something.
I'm trying the English.
I can't read well.
Where are these uncharted waters? Where are you taking these uncharted waters to?
I'm gonna try some new shit. All right, that they announced at E3, the Xbox preview program, and you can actually go ahead and download. What was it? The Lost Woods, or shit, I can't forget the name, and Elite Dangerous right now on Xbox.
Oh, really?
You can actually download it. You can pay for it. You can do the lowered price for the preview program, kind of like the early access shit that they're doing. Or you can try it free, but you can only play it for an hour. So I downloaded it for free, so I'm going to try it out, and I'm hoping to get my thoughts on paper over the weekend. See what I think about that.
Let's see where that goes.
Let's just rename this podcast Unventured Flame. Join us next week.
Sounds like a weird Alfred Hitchcock thing.
Yeah, it does. That's what we're saying. It's basically why it's funny the first time.
Well, I think with that, we will call it quits on AOTF Podcast number 16. Goodbye.
Sweet 16.
Next week, join us as we travel to the unventured plains of Attack of the Fanboy Podcast number 17. It truly is uncharted waters, ladies and gentlemen.
God damn it.
Man.
And that's the end.